stairs earlier.
That's scary on these. They're slippery.
They are, and it would be a hard landing.
We'll do it right here. Yeah, right here.
I'm coming. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Let's do it right here.
Well, hey everybody, it's Uncle Grumpy. Let's keep walking. Okay, so let me ask you while we're walking, we've dealt with a lot of the problems in this new skinny plan.
I like that name.
But I know you personally have multiple bills with no language in them.
Yes.
Are we going to be able to use some of those to help fix some of what we missed today?
Yes, that's why I have the multiple bills. I think I have about 8, and I'll be moving those over the next couple of weeks. I wanted to wait until I saw what this bill looked like to know what needed to be fixed. And then we'll have more bills going through the process. You and I have talked about several issues that we need to get fixed. And then we will be moving those through the process as we go.
I will.
So, like the issue I brought up earlier, which wasn't addressed today, was the tax issue.
Yes.
It's extremely important to me that we get the tax issue dealt with because we've got cities that are charging more. Now, I know from conversations with you and conversations with Scott Fetgetter, the state is not going to imply or implement new taxes. We don't have to worry about you guys doing that.
That's correct.
But how do we get you guys to help us to get the cities to get out of our pockets with their city taxes, because this is medicine?
You'd have to get rid of the city and state sales tax. So anything the state charges sales tax on, the city gets to charge sales tax on. So in order to do this, we've got to get rid of the state and city sales tax, go to the 7% excise tax. So 5%, whatever the percentage was.
It's 7.
7, okay.
It's 7, but I was told that calling it an excise tax is what allows them to add an additional tax on top of that. That was the justification they used while you were on break during the summer to tell them to do that.
And I don't pretend to be a tax expert on any of this stuff. Here's what I do know. No other pharmaceutical is charged sales tax.
Right.
Nothing else. So
that's my goal, is to make sure this isn't any different.
And nothing else is charged that. So the tax issue is absolutely something will come up. Now right now, cutting any tax is difficult given what we just came through. So just being transparent on all the problems that we'll have. But there's some good arguments as to why you should do it in this case. That's why it didn't end up in the Unity bill, because we stayed away from the more controversial stuff. But I've come out before and said we shouldn't be charging sales tax on it.
Right.
5% tax.
Yeah, I've heard from you several times. I want to see it on paper.
Yeah.
Okay, now I know we're going to have to go over a lot of the amendments you did today, and we're going to have to figure out exactly what that does to the skinny bill and how we feel about it at the end of the day. I figure within a few hours we'll know something, but so I don't want to attack you on that anymore. But I do want to mention something else you know is near and dear to my heart, what we call the Damon Rule. Yes. That is the rule to allow people who have been convicted of felons to work in the industry and not be subject to the same rule as the owners with the 2 and 5 year felony rule.
Absolutely.
So because right now the OMMA, the ones answering the phone are saying, and the OBND, I spoke with the OBND, and they say that they're going to apply the same rules as they have with owners. How do we fix that?
So here's what we're trying to fix. It's funny, that's how you and I first met. It was my public statement over that rule. Before we'd ever met, they called me, they implemented that rule, and I think I did it my way. I didn't call it dumb, but I said everything but that. Yeah. I said it was a bad idea, not the direction we want to be going right now with licensure and criminal justice reform. The easy way to get it is the OMMA saying that they will not put that in their permanent rules. Right now it's in their emergency rules. If they don't, then that's going to have to run through a bill that says, and I think you run that bill, it's not just a 788 issue, it's a criminal justice reform issue. We're running other bills, we ran a bill off the floor just yesterday, making it easier for people who had a hard time paying their taxes but had good excuses for it. We stopped taking away their license. So if you couldn't pay your taxes at the moment, but you had a good reason for it, we take away your license, you sure as heck can't pay them now. Because we've taken away your ability to make a livelihood. So we've got many bills doing that. I think it's something now that we get, I was laser focused on making the Unity bill as good as I felt, the Skinnity bill, I like that, as good as I felt like I could make it. Now it's time, over the next couple weeks, more language will be dropping in other bills. We'll be moving through. Okay,
well, I want to wrap it up by telling you this. I do think that the Skinnity bill is the Unity plan minus everything we wanted. I feel like it is. The Unity plan was something we all agreed on in a time and a place that fit. We had to come to agreements with people we didn't necessarily agree to. We gave some, we got some, and that's how this worked out, and we did exactly what the legislature asked us to do. Now, what I feel like the skinny bill is all the stuff we gave up to get what we wanted. It's all that on paper, minus everything we were supposed to get in return.
Well,
so,
a lot of
so I want
stuff
to
you
say
gave up
this.
is gone now, though.
I want to say this. Again, we're going to spend today looking over it. I think you've done us some great service today in fixing the skinny bill. I will ask you, as I will, to stay on top of the tax issue and the Damon rule, because those are two things that are extremely important to us, as well as all these little things. But those are two big things that I intend to grab like a dog with a bone and not let you get away with that one.
I believe you on that.
Okay, Jon, I know you're busy today. It's a super busy day. Thank you. I'm going to head back up and do some more interviews. That's it. Stay grumpy. I'll see you guys in a bit.